Welcome back to the class. Now, in this section, we're going to be looking at working with workbook, and we are going to look at creating, saving, opening, and exporting a file. So specifically, we're going to learn how to create a new Excel workbook from the backstage, then creating a new Excel workbook from blank, of course, our templates. And we're also going to look at saving and opening an Excel workbook. And then we are also going to learn how to export an Excel file into other formats. Okay. But let us start first by looking at what is a workbook. A workbook is a file that contains one or more worksheets to help you organize data. So a workbook is a file and is a collection of worksheets. You can create a new workbook from a blank workbook or from a template. In the next section, we are going to go into the Excel workbook and then Excel application environment, where we're going to learn how to create a new workbook from various using various approach, and then of course moving forward. All right, so we are going to be looking at creating a new workbook, and we're going to look at three approach. Basically, using keyboard shortcuts, we're going to look at how to use keyboard shortcut to create a new workbook, and then creating a new workbook from the quick access toolbar, and then creating a new workbook from the backstage. All right, so let us start with creating a new workbook. We're using the shortcut key. The shortcut key for creating a new workbook is Control N. Okay, so we are in a workbook named creating a new workbook 2, number 2 workbook, creating a new workbook. And then if I hold down my control key on my keyboard now and I press N, you are going to notice that a new workbook has been created, and then of course the other one has gone behind. So that is the keyboard shortcut. Just simply hold down the CTRL key, that is control, on your keyboard. That will be found, can be found on your left side, on the keyboard on the left side, and then downward towards towards the last set of keys on the down. You find the control key, and then you also hold it down and you press N for new. Okay, that will create a new workbook for you. And then to create from the quick access toolbar, the quick access toolbar is the toolbar that gives you quick access to frequently used commands. And of course, you can only find the commands that you have added. And so how do you add a command to the quick access? The quick access is at the topmost level where my mouse is moving. That is where the quick access is. So if I drop the arrow there, you will see new. So if you click and the new is selected, then new will be included among the list of the quick access command. So all you just need to do is look for this particular one that looks like a document, and when you click on it, it will create a new workbook. As you can see, a new workbook has been created. Okay, then the third approach is to go to the File tab. You click, that is behind the Home tab, you click File tab. It takes you to an environment called Backstage. And so there and there you will see New command, New. If you click New, then you will see Blank Workbook. So you can click Blank Workbook, and that will also create a new workbook for you. So we have seen three ways: create a blank workbook from the backstage, which is the File tab. Create using the Quick Access toolbar command, which is the new option, or create using Control N tool, of course, which you find as a keyboard shortcut, which you'll find on your keyboard. Okay, so you can also use the backstage tool, the new, to create from templates. So creating from template means that you have a some predefined design or workbook setup that you can simply use if it suits your task. For instance, I'm looking for a task that involves creating monthly company budget. And so with that, I can look for a template. And once I select my template, this will show. And then all I need to do is to create. And so once I create it, then the template will show. And what you use template to do is just factor it into your tags, of course, adopt it if it is suitable, change what you need to change here and there, and then you can adopt, of course, so adopt it. So when you change all these text, the chart will automatically take shape. And then, of course, expenses and all the necessary things, income, entering your income. So when you are looking for what to use to achieve your task in the Excel environment, possibly you don't know how to start the task, you can look for a template that will solve that problem. And when you are online, you can also check for templates online, as you have search for online templates, and you can simply say maybe sales report, for instance. You press enter and it will go online and search. As you can see, blue sales report, quarterly sales report, weekly activity report, sample pivot table report. So whatever you want, maybe I want quarterly report, I can pick it and create it. So that is how to create from templates. So we have seen creating a new workbook, creating blank, creating from quick access, creating from file tab, creating also from shortcut key. So they will meet in the next section. Bye for now. Now in this section, we are going to consider how to save an Excel workbook, and then of course how to open an existing workbook. So we have, let's say we have a new workbook. So I'm going to use the quick access toolbar to create a new workbook. So now that I've created a new workbook, so I'll just call it a new workbook. Now I have typed an information there. So to save this, I have several options also, like you can use keyboard shortcut, which is Control plus S, S for save. So you can save your workbook using Control S. So just simply hold down Control key and press S, and then your save option will show. And so once it shows, you can browse your location. So if I want to save this on the desktop, then I will browse my location, and then of course choose desktop, and then provide a name for the work. So my new workbook. So that is one way to save. Then you click save, and that saves the workbook. Okay. So another way is by using also the quick access toolbar. There's an option to save. If yours is not included, just go to the arrow beside the quick access toolbar, drop it down, and then make sure save is ticked. So once you click it and save is ticked, it will be included on the quick access toolbar, and so you can now use it to save. So let's say I have a new workbook and I want to save from the quick access toolbar. Once I click the save button, I will choose to save into my system, browse, and then desktop, maybe a new workbook 2. So you just type a name for your workbook and you click save. So that saves that workbook. Then the third way to save is to save through the file tab. So I'm going to create another new workbook. So I assume that you're saving for the first time. So if you go to the file tab and you click save or save as, it will do the same work. So if I click save, it will point me to where I want to save. If I click save, it will jump to save as. So your first time of saving will come with the same response. So you will browse for your location and then, of course, type the name for your file and then press save. So that is how to save. But if you have saved before and then you added new information into your worksheet, okay, you added new information into your worksheet. Each time you update your workbook with a new information, you need to save. So you either use the save button on the quick access toolbar or Control S using your control key and press S, or go to the file tab and press save from here. Okay, so but if a file is existing and you want to open it, the file has been saved and you want to open it, the way to open an existing file is just simply to go to, you can use these 3 options also. You can use keyboard shortcut. Keyboard shortcut for open is Control O. So when you hold down Control key and press O, Control O will open you to where you can now browse for the file, maybe on your desktop, maybe it's my new workbook, and then you open. So, and then the file opens. You can also use the open option from the quick access toolbar. That is, if you have added it by checking here, by clicking here, once open is included, you can also open your new document, your existing file from the quick access toolbar. And the last way to open is through the file tab. You can go to the file tab, takes you to the backstage, and then you can click open, and that will also give you the same results like as before. So that's how to save and open a file from your system. Come back to the class. Now in this section, we are going to be looking at exporting an Excel workbook. So how do you export? We have few options to export. Of course, the one that we're going to look at is the PDF. So you can choose export option from the backstage. That is when you go to the file tab, and that takes you to the backstage. Then on the backstage, you click export, and then you can choose to export as a PDF file, that is the portable digital format, or the XPS format. So the PDF you create, and then of course it will be waiting for you to create that file as a PDF. So I'm exporting it to the desktop. So once I click publish, when I click publish, it will create a PDF of that file. So that is how to create a PDF file export to PDF in Excel. You can also export using some other options. To export using other options, you have to use the Save As. Instead of using the export options, you use Save As, and then you browse for your location, maybe desktop, and then where you have Save As type, what all this simply means is that you are exporting to a different format. So you have XML, you have web data. So if you want to save your Excel file as HTML file, that is for web purpose, then you save as web data. If you are using an older version of Excel, and you would like to save your file for the purpose of opening in that older version, then you save Excel 97 2003. If you are creating a macro, then you can save as macro. You can save as a single web page. You can save as text, to save as a text file. You can also save as a CSV file, the comma separated values, and so many of them. And of course, the PDF is also, and the XPS is also included in this option. Of course, PDF is a common one. XPS is rarely used. Okay, so that's how to export into a different file format. Either you use the export option for the PDF, or you use the Save As option. All right, so that's where we're going to stop in this session. We'll see in the next session where we'll consider another topic. Until then, bye for now.